This has been an essay on why Light Yagami is the worst character in fiction.
He is the worst human being in the anime.
Yeah, he is the worst human being. Hi, welcome to the Tale Trail. I'm your host, Sharon, and with me is my brother, Linden.
How's it going?
On the Tale Trail, we talk about stories. We both love stories. Stories of any kind are welcome on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They're up for discussion. Speaking of stories, we've got one for you today. Yeah, that wasn't very well rehearsed. Which story is it, Linden?
Death Note.
You said that like you were announcing a monster truck.
That's what I was going
into
for.
The ring. Okay.
Like...
But it is Death Note. In fact, we watched all of Death Note, and it only took us like 4 weeks. It took us a little bit.
It's a decently long anime, I'm not gonna lie.
37 episodes, give or take.
I am a little new to animes. I don't know what makes a long
it's
anime.
kind of long, yeah. But it's not the longest. Like, it's not One Piece.
Woo!
Which I've never watched One Piece for that reason. Like, Inuyasha and Black Clover, those were long for me. And I saw like half of Hunter x Hunter, which is awesome, but I didn't finish it because it is quite long. I probably should. But anyways, I did write down a plot summary for Death Note. Death Note follows a promising young honor student in Japan named Light Yagami. When a notebook with the power to kill people falls from the shinigami realm, Light has an epiphany that he can use it to cleanse the world of all the people he deems evil. Criminals die of heart attacks at alarming rates, and a genius detective called L takes it upon himself to find this impossible serial killer. Insanely melodramatic inner monologues ensue as the two try to outwit each other. Questions and discussion, anyone?
Oh, I love it.
Did you have any initial thoughts before I go into the bullet points?
Initial thoughts? Nothing much other than...
Did you like it?
Well, we're going to talk about that,
yeah.
But I did really like it. One thing I guess I would say is I thought the anime was really well paced. Fully all around, it was really well paced, I think, yeah.
If I recall, I think it was really well paced too. If anything, it lags a bit in the second season. Because I think it felt a little long in the second season. At least when I was watching with my husband, he was like, when are they going to catch this guy?
Whew, much longer than that.
All right, well, first question. Is Light evil? Why or why not? I have my own answer to that, but I wanted to let Linden have the floor first.
Me? Whew. I'd say, like, if the Death Note fell into our world and someone was doing that, he would 100% be an evil person. I just think it's how they depicted it was a very realistic way of telling the story. Because I feel like I definitely wouldn't be like this if I got the Death Note. I feel like an alarming amount of people would totally flip their personalities if they got this book. That's why I wasn't really surprised when Light started killing all these people and like decided he was going to be like the god of the new world. I think it's quite a natural thing for someone like that to flip like that. So I would say he's a villain, but not as evil as people depict him as.
What kind of an answer is that? Okay, so you're like, if he was real, he would be 100% evil. But since it's a show, I kind of...
No, I'm not defending him. Like, in the show, he is very evil. But I'm saying, like...
You think it's a realistic...
It's a very
depiction
realistic
of what would happen to a lot of people if they got their hands on it. Yeah, I agree.
And especially how the citizens react to this, like how it starts getting normalized. I was like, this is scary almost. Like that's how it would be.
People like worshipping him.
Yep. Kind of like Antichrist territory.
And people like doxing people online.
Seriously.
Like, hey, Kira, kill this person. Their name is this and their face is this. Like that would absolutely happen. I hate to say it. That's horrible.
Yeah, but basically, don't get me wrong. Light is 100% evil. I just really liked his character, and I'm not going to say this for sure, but I low-key almost was rooting for him, just for the thrill of the plot.
Just because it was fun. Yeah. And I will be the first to say, I really enjoy Death Note, and you can't enjoy Death Note without enjoying Light. I hate him, but I also respect him as a character. Like, he is an enjoyable character to watch, and you hating him this much makes the ending that much more satisfying. So yeah, it is a thrill to watch. It's very good.
I don't hate him though.
But I have my better answer.
Fine, go ahead and do that.
He is evil. But and I'm not with an asterisk, he's just evil. He suddenly wants to kill all disruptive people in society and believes he and he alone has the authority to determine who deserves to go with no trial or anything. He may be naive and immature, but he's also a merciless. Excuse me, he's also merciless. Forgive me, I wrote my answer down because I was feeling very passionate about it. He kills innocent people at the slightest danger to his cover. He sacrifices his accomplices and even considers sacrificing his own sister. I also don't think his motivation is very sympathetic compared to others, even Misa's. Now, Misa is not a good person either, but I know you don't like her, but she wanted to kill the people who killed her parents. That's very understandable. Light didn't lose any parents. Light didn't go through hard times. Even like that guy, that character I hate, Teru Mikami, he was like bullied incessantly. And Light was just this promising honor student who had like a very
he wasn't just
privileged.
Promising. He was top of his class.
Yeah, he was the best. He had like the brightest future ahead of him, a loving family.
Another reason why I don't think it was that surprising.
Doesn't have. Like, for some people, they're desperate, and you would understand why they're using the Death Note. Like, if Denji from Chainsaw Man got the Death Note when he was homeless and starving and trying to pay off his father's debt to the Yakuza, I would 100% understand him using it to kill the Yakuza, and no one would care. No one would call him evil for doing that. But Light has no reason. He just takes it and thinks...
No, he just decides to be a god.
And thinks that I am the chosen one. No other person would do this. Who said this? Ryuk said, yeah, most people would never have killed as many people as you did, and they would have felt really guilty about it. So that's what is odd here. And L takes... Or not L. But I keep getting my names mixed up. Light takes this as, oh, see, only I can do this. Only I'm equipped to do this. No. Bro, that just means you're worse than most people. Actually, that's what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And Ryuk may be neutral, but that doesn't mean he doesn't recognize evil when he sees it. Yeah.
I feel like...
I just think there's just nothing to sympathize with him at all. Now, that is okay. That's totally okay. But if there are people sympathizing with him, he's not the most sympathetic character in the story whatsoever.
No, you can't.
He's just completely selfish. I have another bullet point question, but did you have any other thoughts on that?
No, not really.
Okay, well, it's not often that stories like this are told from the killer's perspective. Why do you think it's effective here?
I think just because it's, like, first off, it's just unique. Like, it's really interesting and unique to see it from the villain's point of view. And, like, don't get me wrong, we get lots of different viewpoints from all the other characters, but it's definitely centered around Light. Yeah, I think the main reason is basically that. Like, you get to see, like, basically, like, see the villain and what's going on in his mind and how he works, you know, and I thought it was unique.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, some people think that if someone is a main character, that automatically means the writer is endorsing that character's actions, or that that character is supposed to be, intended to be the role model? I sincerely disagree with this.
With
yeah.
That, yeah.
So I do not think... And I honestly forgot the author's name. I'm so sorry. The person who wrote Death Note, I do not think they were intending Light to be a role model. I think they were trying to show the hubris of man's nature.
How low we can go, you know? Like...
Basically, or even just like a normal person who isn't even bad. Like, Light wasn't bad. But then you put just the right amount of ingredients in, like give them just the right amount of power, and it can change even some of the best people you would know. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that that everyone would do what Light did. Some people are better than that, but a lot of people would, and that's the scary thing about humans.
I feel like another thing. I feel like the anime is very symbolic.
Oh, absolutely.
Heavily, for sure.
Like, even just in the intros, the imagery is very Christian, although that's probably... like, because of it's a gothic show. Naomi Misora holding Ray Penber, like the Saint Madonna statue, you know? Or even just the apples. Oh boy, did Light ever bite that apple, but and then Ryuk ate all the apples, but we love Ryuk here.
I love Ryuk.
Ryuk is actually my favorite character, but we'll get into that later. But speaking of the right ingredients, do you, Linden, think Death Note is like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, as in no one is able to wield it without being corrupted? Or is it possible for human beings to use it for good at all? I will say, Light's father briefly uses the notebook in the show with moral restraint. You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it is possible. Very unlikely, but
I feel like it's not like the Ring. Again, I can't wait to do an actual episode on Lord of the Rings.
Me too.
But I would say they're similar in the way of, like, with the Death Note. If anyone gets the Death Note and they figure out its power, there would most definitely be temptation to use it like that. So there is a similarity with the Ring on, like, the temptation side, but where versus like the Ring, it will tempt you, like it is meant to corrupt minds.
Oh.
So like that's its power. So it's not similar in that way, but in terms of like temptation, they both have that aspect.
So it's less like the One Ring and
Yeah.
more like $1 billion.
Yes. Very much so.
Because
yeah.
$1 billion isn't good or evil, it's just money.
Mhm.
But you
It's what
could
you do with
use
it.
money easily to kill people, maybe, or
Mhm.
or do other bad things. Or you could let it get to your head and act like you're better than everyone else just because you have money.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not taking the Death Note to the mountains of Mordor.
Nope. Oh yeah, follow one of the
Like-
like Ryuk to the
Yeah.
their land.
Oh
or
my
whatever
gosh,
it is.
imagine
That
a
would be
Death
so
Note
funny.
version of Lord of the Rings where Ryuk is Gollum. I was actually just gonna say, wait, so like let's say Elle and Light are like Sam and Frodo.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, crazy. I don't
that's
even know how that, like, how
No,
the
it wouldn't
interactions
translate
would
to that,
be.
but that's
No,
funny.
because, like, the personality of Elle is nothing like Sam. And Frodo is much nicer than Light, but I would be curious to see an interaction between Ryuk and Gollum. Speaking of, The Hunt for Gollum is coming out, isn't it?
Whew, yes, I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
2027.
Okay, I must have seen an article about it recently because I was like, oh, is that coming out? Huh.
Mhm.
All right on. But yeah, is it possible to use the Death Note for good? I think actually yes. Like, let's say it seems like almost impossible for people using it not to use it in a bad way. Like if they kept it. A little bit like, do you remember on Sonic, was it Sonic 2? When Knuckles takes the emerald and like compresses it and hides it in a place where nobody can find it?
Mhm.
Because he knows that somebody is going to come and find it. And sure enough, Sonic demands that he show him in the next movie.
Mhm.
And he's like, this is why it's hidden. So that, like, because one person shouldn't have that much power.
Mhm.
To be fair, like, I don't think Sonic lets the power get to his head. I think Sonic is just angry. He's so angry.
Mhm.
But then him and Shadow share the power together and then they use it positively. So I think maybe that's not the best analogy, but because like in the past, obviously, like the Echidnas used that very
Mhm.
bad. Like they wiped out entire armies. Like one guy
Yeah.
wiped out entire armies.
I get your point.
But is it sort of like, I feel like the Death Note, like Soichiro Yagami, Light's dad, he uses it to threaten Mello and to kill certain people that they needed to kill in order to save his daughter, if I recall correctly. And then he uses the Death Note to threaten Mello. And of course, Light's like, what are you doing? Kill him! Kill him! But I think there's a very intentional reason why he would do that. He's like, if I just start, killing everybody, that's bad. Like, if I have to kill someone and I happen to have the notebook to do it, then that's one thing.
Mhm.
But he doesn't want to kill anybody.
Yeah, I would say
If you used it like one time in an emergency situation and then locked it up or burned
Right.
it or something.
that's what I would do.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're keeping the book like permanently with you, like using it, I don't think it's possible to use it for good.
No,
Like,
I
forever.
don't either.
It's like you have to use it for good and then get rid of it.
I was gonna say, like, what if there was like a really strict like government around it, and then I'm like, actually,
Oof,
that
no-
would
no
just
government,
make the
no
government,
government.
no government, please.
No
Here's
government.
my solution: a bunch of super super devout monks and nuns guard the Death Note and only allow people to use it if they pass a series of moral tests. And then they only get one shot with the Death Note.
Good, yes.
And this is my solution to the only way to use the Death Note for good. But I think you're right. If you kept the Death Note, there's just no way you wouldn't use it to kill people that you didn't have to. You would start using it conveniently and...
people got in the way.
Or even using it to threaten people, blackmail people, and so on. Control people. It's probably not something anybody should have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole lot worse than a gun. Anyways, here is a weird question that we might not be able to answer, but I still thought it was worth asking. Is L smarter than Sherlock Holmes?
I would say without a doubt, yeah.
What?
I think so, yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think it's because they didn't show us to it in as much detail, because like Sherlock Holmes is the main character of that show, so you see everything that's going on inside his mind. If you look at how quickly Light figures out these things...
You mean L?
Or sorry, oh my goodness.
See, I do the same thing. Why did he give them both L names?
Okay. L, my apologies.
Mm-hmm.
L figures everything out so quickly and so fast without even being there in person.
That's true.
He's always in a separate room just gathering intel.
And he was able to deduce, like, within the first episode or so, that he was a student living in the Kanto region of Japan.
Okay, yeah. Let me correct my original answer. I'll say they both have a run for their money. Like, Sherlock Holmes is no doubt like one of the most smart characters ever written. But yeah, I still think L. Oh my goodness. I still think L would win, yes.
I want to say you're right only because L is deducing something that's kind of impossible to prove because it's not tangible. It's completely supernatural. And Sherlock is deducing stuff based on actual things and people. So, well, I mean, not that there are no people involved in the Kira case, but I don't want to say that Sherlock isn't close because I think their styles of deduction are quite similar. And I think that Sherlock could probably find out a lot of the same things. It's just having next to nothing to go off of in figuring out that they're being aired on TV and stuff. So I think Sherlock could come to those conclusions. But then with all the supernatural stuff and how well Elle does despite not even believing in the supernatural at first is insane. I would love to see them battle it out, to be honest. But I want to say that Elle wins. I just don't have enough conclusive research or evidence to back that up. But off the top of my head, it does seem that way. And that is no offense to Sherlock. I really like Sherlock.
Oof, I love that guy.
I only seen the BBC show, like the newer one. Well, it's not new, but like the Benedict Cumberbatch one. I think I saw 3 seasons of that, and it was really good, but it would be hard to beat Elle. In a perfect world, we would have Sherlock, Elle, and Columbo working together yeah, solving all the mysteries in the world. Well, there are some other really good detectives, too. I'm just less familiar with them. I need to watch more detective stuff, honestly. All right. Favorite character?
All right, should I go first?
Go ahead.
Favorite character.
If you say Light, I'm gonna...
I'm sorry, guys. It's Light.
No.
And
why?
Specifically for his writing. Everything, I love, this long monologues that they go on. Like, I'm gonna do this. And then I'll eat a potato chip.
I'll take a potato chip and
eat it. There we go. That's what he says. Okay, but just the way he was written, everything, he's just a really well-written character. It was really close between him and Elle, though. Elle is such a good character. They're both great. And then honorable mention to Ryuk.
Ryuk, yeah. So Light, of course, I'm not gonna lie. I love the stupid inner monologues that him and Elle have, so that, the internet has a bunch of, parody versions, which aren't even that far off from the actual ones. It's say you want to meet Monday. It's okay. And then he's Monday? I can't believe this. I see what you're doing.
Remember when they're playing
and tennis? It's nothing. Yeah. In tennis, it's if I ask Elle if he's British, what will he say? And he's and he literally says out loud, I did go to school in the UK, but I can assure you that will not help you in your investigation. Because he already knows that he's like, oh, Elle's British. I've got something. He's like, you don't. He sure doesn't sound British.
Mhm.
Then again, we were watching an English dub that wasn't an English dub of a Japanese show. The only English dub I've seen that utilizes accents to help determine where people are from is Monster. I could be wrong. There's probably other ones, but I remember that one struck me because the characters are already speaking English, even though we're supposed to assume they're speaking German. Or, no, German, because it's not set in Japan. But then when they go to England, the characters from England speak with British accents. And they are like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't understand what you're saying, even though they're both speaking English, but we have to assume the people who sound like they're speaking American English are actually speaking German. And I was like, I have never seen a dub like this. So that's really funny.
Clever.
Yeah, I think that's actually a cool way to do, like, a dub of an international show. But yeah, there's a lot of countries in that show.
All right, your favorite character.
My favorite character is Ryuk. I was gonna say L. Part of me wants to say L because I really do love him. I love the stupid way he holds everything. He picks up a cell phone like he's holding a piece of paper. He even holds guns that way, and he doesn't know how to peel a banana for how much of a genius he is. He can't do that, apparently. And he's like building towers of his candies and just sitting like a creep, but unintentionally so. There's something really endearing and even a bit relatable about how he just does not give a crap about his looks and about how socially awkward he is. He just doesn't care how he comes across to people. He can come across as almost manipulative, but I don't think he's intending to be that way, but he knows he'll come across that way and he doesn't care. But he just respects people even if they judge him because he's so weird. So,
all right, so he'd be your second favorite.
He's my second favorite, but I like Ryuk because Ryuk just makes me smile. He makes me happy. He is so funny, and I love when he gets apples. It just makes me happy. Ryuk is not just a silly character though. He is a bit scary. I'd say he's more funny than scary, but he's a bit scary. Like, he doesn't mess around, and I want to say he's like the authority in Death Note because he told Light from the beginning that if you choose to use this, that means I'm going to be writing your name into Death Note. But Light doesn't even think about that because he's so focused on the now. But when your time is up, your time is up. So Ryuk never lied to Light, but Light didn't really take his words with much weight. And Ryuk, just like in real life, death is death. It's not really good or bad, it just is. I guess you could say death is bad. But the person, in charge of when that happens is kind of not really here or there. It's not like, oh, I want to kill you. He wasn't like, oh, I want to kill Light. If anything, he was maybe showing a bit of mercy to Light in the end, because he's like, well, you could rot in jail, or I could just kill you.
So he purely did it for the reason that he didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
He's like,
I think part of him is like, oh, he's just bored and he doesn't care. But the other part, I think, is like, he has a bit of a soft spot for Light and the times they've had together, and it's been really fun. But he's like, but at the same time, all things must come to an end. So yeah, he does end up being kind of a profound character, even with all the goofy antics and the apple eating. He also just has a killer design. I would so wear a Ryuk hoodie or whatever, no matter how scary it would look to Mom and Dad. Because they don't know that this guy is actually the best character in the show. Yes, I love Ryuk. Shout out to Brian Drummond, who played not just Ryuk, but a bajillion characters in that show. We almost started getting tired of hearing his voice every time a bystander opened his mouth and it was Brian again. We were like, Brian, they're not paying you enough, my man.
Yeah, seriously.
They just cast him as not just additional voices, but all additional voices.
Literally, they're like, we bagged this guy just because he can do everyone's voice,
Yeah, I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm old enough because like this is before my time, but I like watched some like old Sonic cartoons, and he even played maybe not Sonic. Was it Sonic or Knuckles that he played in Sonic Underground? I don't remember, but he's in shows like that. And he's in lots of like kid shows who grew up watching like Martha Speaks and Geronimo Stilton, playing just so many characters. So hearing him as this like really kind of scary character is so funny if you recognize his voice from Geronimo Stilton. But he's got quite a range, so I do have to give a shout out to him. Also, L. I had no idea that his voice actor plays most of the love interests from the Barbie movies I grew up watching. I had no idea, but now I can't unhear it. It's actually, I just didn't think of it. But now that I listen to it, I'm like, no, that's 100%. He's not even doing a different voice. That's just him. So, oh man, those voice actors sure got around back then. All right, least favorite character, and you're gonna give me a whole essay on why Misa sucks.
No, I won't give you a whole essay, but yeah, Misa, I really hate her character. Just like those people, like the people they are, and just existing in shows. I hate them. I hate their guts. It's just like, oof, your personality. It's like if I was L, I would have, or no, sorry, not L. If I was Light.
L even likes Misa. Light hates Misa. L is like, she actually is kind of cute.
If I was Light, I already would have killed her. Like, she's so annoying. And then my second least favorite character is Rem. I really hate Rem. And I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me on that, but it's like the first person you decide to like care about, though, like the only person you decide to care about is my least favorite character. So it's like that instantly puts you in the second place position.
I like Rem. I think what she's trying to do is noble. Like,
yeah.
I don't think that Misa is a good person, but I think her love for Misa is admirable, and she is able to see how disgusting people are. Like, she's not like, oh, I think this person is like this person's neither here or there for me. Like in the Yotsuba group, those businessmen, she's like, no, these people are absolutely disgusting. But with Misa, I think she sees her kind of as an innocent child who is being misled, which is kind of true. But she's also probably old enough to know better, so it's a bit confusing because she comes across as innocent and sweet and naive despite the fact that she loves Kira and supports what he does and will do whatever he says. But that's also kind of a way to pay him back for what he did for her, because he like indirectly killed the guy who killed her parents. So she feels like she's indebted to him. So I do kind of understand that. And I understand that Rem would see her as not as bad as some of the other people. And if you've been watching her for a long time, like she watched the guy who was watching her before, and then he died, and then she took over, and it's kind of hard not to get attached to somebody who you're watching them live their life. It's a bit like a mom and a child or something. So no, I don't hate Rem. I would hate Misa more than Rem, even though I don't hate Misa either. But I also kind of understand, because like Misa is kind of a one-dimensional character to me. I think she's like a fun character to watch, kind of in the way like where a bad guy has like a sycophant, like a sidekick who is, or you know what? That's the wrong word. Like a kiss up, like an absolute bootlegger. You know, like Dr. Stone in the Sonic movies. I like him.
I like him.
Even though he's stupid for staying with Dr. Robotnik, who is completely verbally and emotionally abusive and physically abusive. And the reason he stays, though, is because of that pure childlike admiration for his work and for who he is and for his genius. And another one like that is like on, you haven't seen Inuyasha yet, but like the little green guy, Jockin, who gets like rescued by Lord Sesshomaru, and then he follows him everywhere. It's just like, oh, my lord is so beautiful. My lord is the most powerful. Anyone who looks at my lord will taste it. You know, and but this guy steps on him and tests his sword on him, and yet he's still like, oh, my lord is the greatest. And we kind of enjoy these characters because we're like shocked when like the guy treats him badly, and then we are like, laughing even though we feel bad when he still gets up and follows him in the end. Because there is something that's kind of funny or endearing about that, and I sort of see Misa in a similar way. She's just incredibly stupid for being around Light when he
Mhm.
clearly has the worst of motivations when it comes to women. Oh wow, the women in his life, he treats them really bad. Those are the parts where I think what he did to what's her name?
I can't
What he
remember.
did to that news anchor lady, I forgot her name. I think at that point was when my husband was like, "All right, this guy needs to die. This is okay. This is a step too far, you know." And
Mhm.
that was particularly morbid. You're just like, "Oh, why? You like made her believe that you loved her, and then you like leave her naked in a burning truck." It's just horrific. Yeah. Light sucks. I don't think Misa sucks as much, and I think she would maybe be a better character if she was more like human instead of like the cliche of being like
Mhm.
a kiss up and and just idolizing Light. Like I think she could have more to her than that, but
But she's not your least favorite character,
no, she's not
is
my least
she?
favorite character. I
She
actually
is.
I said I enjoy her in that way where I enjoy those stupid kiss up
Right, I
characters, like
guess.
those really cartoony sidekicks to like villains.
Mm-hmm.
So I do enjoy her in that respect, but I think she could definitely be better.
Mm.
My least favorite character is Teru Mikami.
Delete, delete, delete.
I've been told I have an excellent memory, and I think the truth is I have an excellent selective memory because like I'll watch a show and I'll be able to like tell people everything that happens in that show. And they'll be like, "How do you remember everything?" And I guess if I really like the show, I'm remembering so much of it and I'm like, "Oh, it was so good." But then the stuff that wasn't that good, it was just right out of my brain. And then so when we were watching it again cuz I watched it with my husband and then I watched it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Teru Mikami enters the scene, and I'm like, I forgot this man existed, and I know why. It's because he was lame, lame, lame. I didn't like him. The only thing I like about him is how freaking dramatic he is. He is
So
so
funny.
crazy, like the way he writes on the desk. He's like running from one side of the desk to the other as if he's like writing the name across the entire desk, which doesn't even make sense because the notebook isn't that big. And his like stupid obsessive habits of like going to the gym or when he's like writing all those notes and then he like falls to his knees so dramatically, or even just the way he like talks. He's like,
It's so
God, I like it is kind of funny to watch, but that's all he is. Like his backstory about being bullied, I would say that
It's
gives him a
lame.
better motivation than Light, but it's also like so cliche
Yeah.
and boring that everyone watching is like, boo, cry about it. We don't care. So like if they were trying to make him sympathetic there, it was just we do not care.
We do not care.
Yeah. So I thought he was like a really weak character who was kind of funny to watch, but he's also not in the show very much. I don't know if he's in the manga more. But yeah, when he comes on, I'm kind of like, oh, this guy. Except for the funny parts with him, but he's pretty boring and sad. We have ran out of notes other than final thoughts on the story, so I guess this can be like a free for all. I should have written more notes. I thought I wrote more, but
Final thoughts. I mean, I guess we could. One character we could talk about is Light's father.
yeah, or Mellow.
Mellow too. I like
Or
Mellow. Or
Near,
Near.
even.
Near
Yeah.
too.
Near, far. Near,
Okay.
far.
Near is underrated. He's a really good character, I think. And
People who hate him
I
are
like
just
him.
mad that Elle died.
Mm-hmm. You guys are diehards. Grow up.
I love Elle too, and I was really sad when he died because surprisingly, I grew up without really knowing much about Death Note, even though it was so popular. So when I actually watched it, I didn't really know anything about it other than the memes. So I didn't know Elle was gonna die, and I really didn't think he would, and so I was pretty heartbroken when that happened.
I saw it coming. I knew it was going to happen. And I was sad when it happened, but I was like, all good things come to an end.
At
You know?
least Nier didn't die.
Yeah, Nier was. I feel like he was even smarter than L, but like he had a lot more to work on.
Well, he's so young, but he had what Elle did Elle set the stage for him to come in. So Nier wasn't working with nothing like Elle was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge advantage that Nier has. Not to underestimate Nier, but he is a child and he did have a lot more to work with, thankfully. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that's a Like, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, he sucks. No, it's just to be fair. So
also seems
L
like
probably
Nier.
is smarter than Nier just because
Yeah,
he was working with nothing and Nier was not.
I guess we won't
However,
know for sure.
yeah, but at the same time, that doesn't mean
I
like
will
you still have to
say,
give Nier credit for coming to the
yeah, I will say,
finale
Nier. I found took way more action.
than
Like
L.
that,
Yeah,
he
L
started
gets.
attacking. Like Nier just started like, let's do
That's a
this, let's do
good
this, let's do
point
this. He's
because
just like straight to the
L
point.
L kept like pussyfooting around,
Yeah.
and then he's like he knows it's Slight, and he knows it's Misa, and he locks them up, but he can't prove it,
Hmm.
and he can't keep them locked up forever, so he lets them go. But you're right, Nier is taking action
Nier
with
was
his
taking
team,
action.
whereas L is more like he's doing like a whole bunch of tests, you know.
Hmm.
So they do have a different way of going about things, and perhaps Nier's method is more effective. You're
I
right.
think Nier's
Okay.
method was more effective, and his personality is much more unforgiving. Like he's just like, we're doing this and deal with it, kind
Yep.
of thing. Like he's
Yeah,
like,
you know what? Elle has more sympathy for
he does.
others. Yeah, and Nier has less.
Nier's very
He doesn't have
respectful, but he's
none.
more about business. He's
He
like, we're
doesn't
doing,
have none, but he's like, that's just the way it is.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting this done. He's like,
Yeah, and he's a child too, so
hmm,
that's what's really striking about him. He's a child, but nobody treats him totally like a child because of the way he speaks and that presence he
hmm,
carries is just so, yeah, it's straight to the point, unforgiving. He knows what's going on and you don't. Not in a way where he's condescending towards you, but
hmm.
you quickly realize that this guy is smarter than you, even if he is a child, so
Hmm.
he just needs you to accompany him to the airport and buy him toys
Yeah.
and I like that it wasn't like a cringy sort of way. It's like, oh, he's a kid, so he like throws tantrums or something.
Well, that was another thing about the
He
symbolic side of things. Like that, like
really?
Nier likes to play with toys as he's talking about his analogies and like talking about how he's gonna catch him or what their next step is. He's fiddling with the toys or whatnot. And then when L is doing the same thing, he's fiddling around with the candy or he's eating chocolates or
They're
something.
all
I feel like it's a little symbolic, as in like that's how they operate. Like they do this while thinking, and it's like,
well, I think that orphanage, Watari's orphanage, where they kind of raise up detectives,
mm-hmm.
must be like a detective school for highly autistic children because look at them all. None of them are normal.
And
And that
Mello
is
the
not
least
to
so.
say,
He's
yeah,
like, oh my
Mello, what the
goodness,
heck? Like, he looks like a pirate, like a gothic Lolita pirate dude.
something like that.
Not to be mean or anything, because, like, I think all these characters are really cool, but they're not your average people.
Nope.
And I don't know exactly why that is, or if you have to be autistic to be at that orphanage, but I like that Nier is a child. They don't like make it so that he's basically an adult. He is as intelligent as an adult. But since he is a child, he's still like you never see him without a toy in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him like decorating a Christmas tree, building a railroad. And yes, he uses them as like sort of like set pieces to illustrate his theories, but he also I think just enjoys playing with
Yeah.
toys. Like in the airplane, he's like, okay, you take the robot and I'll take the teddy bear or whatever, right? Like, and it's all like you don't hear him say this, so it's like this unspoken thing, but everyone acknowledges that he is in fact a child.
Mhm.
They respect him, but they also respect that he's a child, and I love that so much.
Mhm.
And even he knows that he's a child. I think he's a tiny bit embarrassed about it, like when he's like, well, I can't go to the airport by myself. He's a little embarrassed about it, but he's also like, well, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I am a child, and that's how society works. So,
Oh, and then by the way, how does Mello not gain weight by all the chocolate he's eating?
because it's dark chocolate.
It could. That's a good point, but I feel like it might not be.
No, I think it's dark chocolate.
Okay.
Some people love that
Well,
stuff.
then that just makes
and that's
Mello
actually
disgusting.
really good. That's actually really good for your heart, dark chocolate.
Blech.
But not that it saved him in the end. Enough dark chocolate to save me from the death note.
He died in an honorable way.
Surprisingly, okay, so here's another thing, selective memory. Mello isn't in the series as much, so when I watched it the first time, I thought that Mello was bad, and then I watched it with you, and I'm like, Did I
No,
miss
he
something?
wasn't like
He
he's
was
probably not a
actually
great guy, but like
no, but he was trying to stop Kira, and he was willing to die to do that, and that makes him miles more sympathetic than a lot of the other characters.
hmm
Like, he was willing to die to stop Kira, and look at Kira, look at Light. He sacrificed everyone and everything. He will sacrifice anyone but himself. He
hmm
never puts himself at risk ever. So that's part of why he's so pathetic, because there are villains who are evil and yet they have the strength and the selflessness to put themselves on the line to achieve what they believe is right.
hmm
This guy does not. He's an absolute wussy. So in the end, when he is caught, he's just flailing around like, Misa, anyone, someone help me. And it's just like, this is what you were the whole time. Hiding behind that
This is a
persona.
setup.
Hiding behind that persona and sending everyone else to die for you. And it's like,
It's
oh, you're
so
so
pathetic.
scary. This guy's like God. No, he's just a pathetic individual. Just disgusting and selfish. That's all. And it's so satisfying for that to really be confirmed
Take
and
away all
laid
the-
before everyone's eyes in the end.
Take away all the powers and you're just an open shell.
I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you.
Yeah, something like that.
Stealing lines from Avengers now, are we? But it just reminded me that standoff between Captain America and Iron Man. He's like, take the suit off, and what are you? He's like, oh, I'm a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. And he's like, I know guys with none of that worth 10 of you. But I guess Tony Stark is not Light, though. He's still not as bad as Light. Oh, man.
I personally love Iron Man. but
Oh,
that's a
I
story for
like
another
him.
story.
I like him, and he grows as a character. I'm saying he's not Light. Like, imagine Captain America talking to Light Yagami.
Oh, that would be. We gotta make that.
He'd
some
just
kind
be
of
like,
video.
you know what? Just die.
Yeah, seriously.
Shut up, Joe. Die. Just stop breathing. But and now I'm bringing Medea into this. Why?
Wow. Okay.
But I guess I do watch too many movies, or my selective memory is just too good for specific lines. So I remember all these things and scare people because they're like, when did you last see that? I'm like, oh, it must have been years ago.
I actually am similar that way because we'll be talking about something and I'll pull a line from a different movie and they'll be like, well, hold up. What are we talking about? I'm like, oh, sorry.
I think some families just do that because my husband's family is like scared and they think that's weird. And then us, we're just like,
It's
we've always
normalized.
done that though.
Yeah, our household just like half our dialogue is just quotes from different
Does that
movies.
mean
It's
all of
like-
us are like borderline autistic?
I feel like we just we have a passion for movies.
I think
and
we were just
stories.
so isolated. Or maybe some people are just more inclined to remember stuff that they care about. So we just really care about stories.
Mhm.
Maybe more than the average person who kind of like zones out when they watch TV. But for us, we're like, TV is like the highlight of the day. We're like, oh, heck yeah, we're going to watch the crap out of this thing.
Right, exactly.
We watched like Madagascar from 2005 on rotation. I could have quoted that entire movie at one point.
Yeah, that's like with me with Tintin. When I was sick,
Oh, that
I
one's
once
so
watched
good.
that 5 times in one day. I could probably quote the whole movie roughly exactly.
But we are actually getting close to the end of the time, and we haven't really rated Death Note, have we? I just wanted to say, I wanted to acknowledge how much of a cultural impact Death Note has had. Long before I ever saw it, Death Note, there were so many Death Note references that I knew of.
It's been a staple for me.
Like
for
the
many
memes,
decades.
there's just so many memes. Like even people who haven't seen Death Note, they kind of vaguely may have heard of a notebook where you write someone's name in it and then they just or like the I've won. Or even like the Death Note
I've
music,
won.
like the Latin like funeral sounding music that
That's
plays
music.
or the really dramatic music that plays when they start thinking like and like, you know, people have been using that for a long time. And we just kind of got used to it without even knowing where it came from. And now I'm watching this show and I'm like, hey, I've heard this before.
Exactly.
And it's awesome. It's great to finally be in on the joke.
Mhm.
Sorry it took me so long, fellas.
Same with me. Like now that I watched it, I get everything now.
Yeah. Our older brother, or your older brother and my younger brother, he was like, "You haven't seen Death Note?" And we watched it, we were talking about it, and he was like, "Wait, you didn't see it before now? Are you
I guess he would be
crazy?"
surprised
He was
about
like,
that.
"How did you?" Because he knows I watch anime. Like, I'd always heard of it, but I didn't really know if I was interested or not, because, like, I'd only heard, like, tiny little things about it, so.
Hmm.
And I guess it was, when it came out, I was, like, pretty young, so I didn't watch it at that time, but.
Hmm.
So yeah, for me, I want to say Death Note's gotta be, like, an 8 or 9 out of 10, because just the rewatchability of this thing, the entertainment value is so high.
Hmm.
Like, after you watch it, you'll think about it a lot, and it's just super fun.
It's so fun, yeah.
Like, it's got more to it than just fun, but I do find that it's just very entertaining. The character dynamics are really funny. Even just the back and forth. Okay, one thing I will say, Death Note would not work without the inner monologues. You would have these scenes with, like, no dialogue.
Yeah, it would be boring.
People
That's
just
part of the
sitting
fun.
there and making faces. But the super dramatic inner monologue is part of why it's so funny, because you kind of want that to see how crazy, how they can out crazy each other. Like,
Mhm.
each monologue becomes more and more intense and like outlandish. You're like, that's a reach, but they might be right, you know? So
Uh-huh.
it's really funny to watch. If you don't have any context, I think you'd be like, what the heck is this?
Hmm.
But with context, it's sort of like Sherlock on steroids or something.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, just the pacing, the whole story itself, easily, like, it's easily an 8 for me. I wouldn't quite put it at a 9 because we're gonna do many other shows. I'll try to keep my standards kind of high, but this is an 8 for sure. It's going strong on 8. Character wise, like, I'll say, like, Light gets an 8 out of 10 as a character. L gets like an 8. Like, yeah, super well written.
I want to say it's a 10 out of 10 for just being so iconic. Like, Death Note is
Iconic
iconic.
wise, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, so as far as like visually and like its staying power in the culture, Death Note is a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But like story-wise, I'm going to say it's at least an 8 because
Mm.
like it's not perfect, but it's quite good and
Such a
it's
staple.
super
Such a staple.
entertaining. You cannot deny the entertaining factor. And it's like super kind of unnecessarily complicated, but in a very fun way. So
Mm-hmm.
I know there are YouTube, what do you call it? Like character analysis videos where they're like, L should have caught Kira way faster or something, or Kira should have been caught way faster. And maybe that's true, but I still feel like we're overestimating ourselves quite a bit if we think we could catch Kira that
Mm-hmm.
fast. But at the same time, like, yeah, there are some parts of the show that are probably like dumb, you know, where you're like, why did you do that, you know? But it's always satisfying to see Light, you know, start to get more and more dumb and more cocky because just speed running his own downfall, and I'm always happy to watch that over and over and over again. That's
Mm-hmm.
the most iconic I don't want to say like death scene, but like just the downfall of a villain, Light's downfall is like the best I've ever seen. It's so satisfying. You just like relish in his suffering. You're just like, yeah, yeah. I was so happy when that happened. I was just sending messages to everyone like, Light's dead.
I was satisfied too, but I was like, it's the end of an era.
You do feel sad because then the show is over.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like, well, then there's no more show, and that's sad.
Yeah.
I have not seen the movie that follows it.
Oh wait, no, you're talking about the animated movie.
No, not
right.
Ew, not the Netflix bullcrap. No, I mean I think there's actually an animated movie set in universe, and I know
we should watch it.
Yeah, we should. I don't know if it changes anything, but we could at least
Probably
watch
not.
it.
More monologues and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I've heard that Light might be a shinigami in it or something. Ooh. Because the person who used the Death Note can't go to heaven or hell, even if he deserves to go to hell. But yeah, I'd be curious to see it. So, anyways, thank you so much for listening. Next month, or maybe within this month, sorry we skipped a month, but within this month or next month, we'll probably be doing an episode on the series Alf. It's a sitcom we've just really been enjoying watching on Saturday mornings over breakfast.
Super fun.
It'll be a different kind of discussion because it's more self-contained, but we're ready to try it. And anything else you want to say before we pull the plug?
Not really, other than this world is made of
Love and peace. That was our
Yeah.
Trigun. Are we just like stealing that for
I
all
guess
time?
we'll just steal it for most of it. Well, no.
Until the author sues us.
We could do that, or we could do it with Death Note style. How would we end it Death Note style?
Well, it's been fun.
Described it?
Writes the tail trail. In
Oh,
the
you
Death
mean
Note.
that's what Ryuk said?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, yeah, that way works.
Or we could end it by saying, "I've won." I can't think of anything good. But we will see you in the next one. Ciao.
Peace.